Happy Halloween! I am Maleficent. You can't see my, hold on. Let me show you the expanse of my antlers. I opted not to go for the black wings. I was like, I don't need to do all that. But I'm so loving these. But if I scoot too far back, it's still just bigger than life, bigger than I can handle. But this is kind of like a get ready with me and a they're so cute. Chit chat about you know, for me, this time of year, this time of year, when we hail and celebrate and embody which energy we tell stories that get all the attention, and it's cool, it's sexy, it's all these things. Something to be said about the characters, the archetypes, the women who were led to have to do what they had to do to, first of all, it kind of came from a place of protecting themselves, or they have been wronged in some way. But, I feel like, and what I learned is like, before I have to get to that point, if I had that edge about me and that power about me, well, then maybe no one can cross me. You can just look at me and tell I'm not the one. And I'm not saying, by being ominous and all black, and even the word, B-I-T-C-H, right? The baby's over there in the bed. Even is it, they talk about how men marry those type of women. But, if you really were to break down that example, that is not, she's not running that man, and she's not unpleasant to be around. She's just no nonsense. She's just no funny stuff. She's just not someone that you can just boss around. She's just not someone who, plays by those type of rules. While everybody else is needing this and falling over that. These women are powerful, feared, respected. And a lot of times, with the plot twist, depending on what we're talking about, they hate to love her. They love to hate her, but secretly, find her just so intriguing, sensual, alluring, and even the prince in Little Mermaid was hypnotized by Ursula, because she was pulling out all the stops, and he could not resist himself. And her voice and her aura and all the things that she was, embodying was like he could not resist. And I know that there have been times in my life where I have been not so, by the book, but I got what I needed. And I got the respect. And I got what I wanted. And I got what I said. And I wasn't cross, and it was just not going to be a fight. This is not going to be something that, I'm going to have to repeat, and we're not going to have no do-overs. And I think about all the things that witches were feared for. Oh, crap. I think about all the things that, they said that they did. And it's like, it was all fear-based, and it was a lot of speculation because you didn't want certain women to have certain power, certain influence, definitely over you. Now, being a menace to society, I get it. You know, people using their power to harm others. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just minding our business, going through life when someone says, look, over there, I don't like that you're different. You must be, you must be something that isn't good. And so therefore we need to pull you out of your element and interrogate you and figure out or what is it that you do, because it's not like the rest of us. This is coming together so good. You okay, Nana? You need to go get your orange juice, baby. Or that tea. And it's like, it's sad to think that a lot of people, a lot of women experience that. But a lot of things survived. A lot of things were passed on and hidden. And here we are today. So on the one day of the year that witches aren't so bad and aren't so, judged and villainized in the sense of like, it's wrong, it's taboo, it's all these things, just interesting how it's like, what were their sins? What were their offenses to humanity that made it so, because, if in the stories, the princesses always need to be rescued and were fair, poor maidens that always needed, something that they couldn't provide for themselves, which that's a twofold thing. I am all for, look, I'm breaking down the fairy tales. I'm all for self-empowerment. And I'm all for, if you're going to be with somebody, does he put you in a castle with your horse and carriages and everything that you need? Or will you forever be doomed to be the poor Cinderella slaving away in life? Which way do you want this thing to go? But when you look at the energies behind Maleficent, Ursula, who's another villain? Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. We'll just stick with Maleficent and Ursula because they're like top of my head. They had their kingdoms, they had their power, they had their palace, they had their domain, they had their reign, they had their minions, they had everything they needed. And they were hell-bent on letting you know, I'm going to get what I want, and y'all going to recognize. Now, for the sake of the story, we know we have to root for the poor, helpless maiden who, but at the same time, it's almost like they were trying to take the easy route out. It's almost like they were like, eating the apple and making a deal. It's like, honey, you don't have to have some sometimes you have to be self-made. Sometimes you have to find another route. Sometimes that's not the best opportunity as far as a shortcut. Now, is it the witch's fault for offering you such a deal, a bad deal at that? Something that she knew you wouldn't be able to, keep up? Or is it your fault for thinking, oh, okay, being so naive and trusting and meek and mild and woo, that, you couldn't see through the, oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for. This is the mascara I wanted. You couldn't see through all of the trickery. You couldn't see, you couldn't read the room. You couldn't get a vibe. You didn't have no intuition. You couldn't look at her and be like, I respect your domain. And honestly, too, if you think about it, I don't know, but I can't remember Maleficent from the original Sleeping Beauty. But I know Ursula wasn't going around messing with nobody. She had a thing for her daddy. She was like, I'm just trying to, rule the sea and I want the trident. But my beef isn't with you, honey. You're small fish, but now you're gonna be bait. So, I don't have an issue with the witches. Quite honestly. And I think sometimes you need that inner resolve, that confidence that it takes to strike out on that path, because a lot of witches are solitary. And some of them, they join their little groups and whatever, but it takes such courage to say, I don't want to practice spirituality that puts women down and almost cuts us out of the fact that, women, I say we, the fact that women are the a big part of this whole thing. And I'll never forget when I was in Occoquan, Virginia, walking that little town. It's not a river. It is a river. It's a little river town. So quaint, very bougie, and I was welcomed by all the shop owners, and I was just, window shopping. I picked up a few little trinkets, and one of the last little boutiques that I came to had crystals and candles, and that was my thing anyway. This was years ago. I don't even think my youngest was born. And a black cat came across, and my daughter was so excited, and she had a couple little other cats. And she said, welcome, and we just struck up a conversation, and she was like, well, I'm a witch, and this is, this, that, and the other, and I invite you to our reading circle that we have, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, thank you for thinking of me, inviting me. Oh, that's very kind of you. I wasn't in the least bit taken aback or offended or even afraid of that, because honestly, I have been in the presence of other people that practice other spirituality. I wouldn't even say spirituality, other religions. And they have been very pushy, very authoritative, very know-it-all, very you need your soul saved, that kind of thing. And it's like, first of all, you don't know nothing about me. You don't know anything about me. How I was in the thrift store. This man said, oh, I'm coming out the door with my cart. And he offered to hold the door. And he said, do you know Jesus? And I said, yes, I actually know him quite well. And he was like, but have you prayed the prayer of salvation? And I was like, and if I have, that's a very private conversation between me and God and Jesus and Holy Spirit. That don't have nothing to do with you. And me explaining myself to you in this halfway in the parking lot about my prayer of salvation is none of your damn business. He don't care about me. He has no genuine interest in where my soul is going. You just want to talk. You just want to hear yourself sound self-righteous. And because if you were really that big and bad, why don't you go to the corner? On every corner, just about, there is a family, literally a whole family, kids, the dog, the cat, asking for money, asking for a ride, asking for anything they can get. Anything they can get. And I don't know if it's a scam, it's a joke, it's a what, but they out there. You can go talk to them. Go talk to your pastor, go talk to your wife. Don't stop me asking me about nothing. I didn't like that. Because then he wanted to hold me up. He was like, but have you prayed the prayer of salvation? I'm like, prayer of salvation? And I was like, I'm not even going to debate you. If I had time, I want to add another color. If I had time, I would, but this is not cute. Then there was another story. My parents were out on the beach, down at Virginia Beach. And these Pentecost, I don't even know what they were, holiness Pentecost. And look, I'm not coming for anybody that, is of the church or anything like that. I'm not coming for I'm not here to say that any one way is right or wrong. I just think it's interesting that sometimes the people that are the least religious are the kindest, sweetest, most welcoming and open-minded people. And then when you have people that, are devout followers of an Abrahamic, is that the word? Very male-dominated group, it's like, they're just not nice. They're just not nice. And so they're on the beach trying to enjoy themselves, and this group, all cloaked in robes, came down, basically condemning everyone to hell if they didn't listen and heed the gospel. What? That is not going to bring any kind of souls to any kind of deity, God, anything. Saint, who wants to hear that? Heed my voice. My mom says, she was like, all of you, this, that, and the other. You know, Jesus, this, that, and the other. Then they went out on the water and like replicated a baptism. And I'm sure for anyone that had never heard of anything of this sort, they were probably so afraid. Now, Druids don't go out here and stand with their, microphones in public places and scream at people. Wiccans and Buddhists and pick another anybody. I've never seen any other body of religion post up with posters, banners, speeches, what are those loud microphone things? I've seen speakers and mics waving their spiritual text, their holy book, trying to beckon in souls, but yet you're scaring people away and you're being offensive. You're being offensive. Very offensive. I wouldn't sign up for that. When the car dealerships, they want to sell a car, they put out big banners, balloons, free food, and they're like, come one, come all. We just passed a car place that had all the Halloween stuff. The girl said, oh, you want to go with that? I said, girl, they're trying to sell a car. We got a Honda Accord. We don't need another car. But, and I don't want no hot dog either. But, they know what they're doing. They're trying to hand out these pamphlets, come back tomorrow because we're going to have a after Halloween car sale. Big old event. They had the grills going, everything. So, you wanna turn souls and witness and share your good experience and how you found yourself. Live by example. Someone will ask you, hey, why are you so positive? Why are you so happy? What's your secret? And then you can say, oh, I'm a Buddhist. Oh, then you can say, I am a Catholic. Then you can say, I found faith and hope in my Christianity. Or then you can say, I found faith and hope in, just being one with nature. Or I'm an atheist. That's what gave me peace. Whatever. It's all, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. And so this was just a little chit chat rant that I wanted to share. My makeup is done. I'm green with envy. I don't know if I should put on some lashes, but I'm just walking out here with the kids. So maybe I'll change my earrings or something. But I'm so tickled to be evil and dark this Halloween and tap into my sensual inner vixen. Because Maleficent in that new one with Angelina Jolie, she was a bad sister. And, you also saw her soft side. You also saw how she was so betrayed and hurt. And sometimes that hurt can fuel you to do good or to do bad. And, that is the human story sometimes, where it's like, you at the end of the day choose your destiny. You choose all the things and you choose what you're going to do with your power. And so if I remember correctly, she never harmed that girl, but she definitely let the kingdom know. And that boy who ended up being her ex-lover or whoever he was, you gonna know my name. I gotta watch that movie again just to make sure I'm remembering correctly. But happy Halloween! Enjoy all the candy and all your festivities. And don't forget, Tuesday and the rest of the week, all this stuff gonna be marked down, and the pop-up shop's gonna be closing, so you can get your little goodies for next year for literally pennies to the dollar. So thank you for watching, and peace. Bye.